Hello everybody, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing just a general collective reading for everyone out there. So we have moved from the sign of Gemini into the sign of Cancer. Now what's really important for you to understand during Cancerian season is that any emotion that you have bottled up inside of you is about to be purged, okay? So if you have anger, aggression, hatred, rage, whatever, that's about to pour out. So it's very important that you do this in a safe place to feel your emotions, okay? So when we talk about Cancerian season, Cancer is represented by the moon, all right? So what happens during the full moon? Well, people tend to go crazy because during the full moon, it represents a purging process. You are not supposed to manifest on the full moon. You are supposed to purge on the full moon, and you manifest on the new moon, all right? So people get that a lot of times confused, and that's why their spell work tends to backfire on them. So just be aware of that for yourself, especially during this next full moon. Do not try to conjure up or manifest during this next full moon. In fact, it'd be a good time for you to just, maybe have a good cry, detox, whatever you got to do, right? So what is going on for the general collective out there? What do we need to know? So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana and then clarify that card with a different deck. So one major arcana for the collective. We have the Magician. Okay, so as above, so below energy. As it is in heaven, so it is on earth. So with this Magician energy, it represents being number one right here. Going from point 0 to point 1, so the beginning of something within your life. Now, this could be you meeting a great inventor. This could be you having a great idea. This card is represented by the sign of Aquarius. So when I see the Magician coming out, this person is a master of every type of magic. So necromancy, cartomancy, pyromancy, whatever you can think of. But here's the thing, is that the Magician is not necessarily a person. It is an ideology, a structure, okay? So we can never be masters of everything within our lives, but we can master certain things to some extent, all right? So that's what I'm seeing for you right here, is having mastery over a certain situation, or you potentially going to school right here to learn mastery over something. Now, this could represent someone coming into your life as well to teach you the gifts, to teach you the knowledge of something specific. However, that doesn't always have to be the case. But what I see for you right now is that the Fool is going to point 1. He is meeting the Magician, and the Magician is saying, hey, I need to see basically your birth chart, because Aquarius is the grand astrologer of the zodiac sign, and then peer into the birth chart to see what you are supposed to do in this lifetime. Now, everyone does have free choice, okay? You can choose to do whatever you want to do within your life. However, when it comes to looking at your birth chart and it comes to looking at your signs in general, because you're not just your sun sign, you're your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, your Pluto, your Venus, your Mars, whatever, right? You have your 10th house, and that's one of the most important things to look at when it comes to career. Your Venus is the most important when it comes to looking at love. So with the Magician right here, this could be you seeking advice from someone who just knows more about a certain subject than you. And this person is trying to put you on the right path. He's looking at the Fool's birth chart, and he's like, oh, you're supposed to be an inventor. So what you need to do, Fool, is you need to go through X, Y, and Z hoops to get initiated into this situation, and then go on to being, an apprentice to this great inventor or whatever. So the Magician can put you on the right path, but you do have to go and seek this person out. This person is just not going to show up. However, sometimes they can be, like the great Houdini, just magically appear and then tell you something, like the fairy godmother, right? But that's very, very rare. So what is going on for the collective? Let's clarify this Magician energy. What do we need to know? So I'm going to be using the Revelations Tarot, and this deck does have reversals in it, okay? It does represent the Great Wizard of Oz, the person that was behind the curtain, understanding that through all of this magic, there was still someone who was in control of everything, okay? Through all of this grand spectacle, this great display, the poppy fields, the great Wicked Witch of the West, whatever, there was still someone who was in control behind the scenes the whole time. And it can also represent, creating the villain and creating the hero, okay? Because this person had control over everything. They could see everything. It was kind of the idea of being omniscient, right? So this person can see everything that's going on, but still chooses to let things play out in a certain order. So we have the Eight of Cups in reversed. We have the Hermit upright. And we have the Page of Cups in reversed. So when I see the Eight of Cups in reverse, this is you choosing to stay in a situation that you don't need to be in anymore, okay? The Eight of Cups upright is you seeing an unfulfilling emotional situation and you saying, okay, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go and find my 9th and 10th cup. I want to find the Wish card, and I want to find emotional fulfillment. So this is you leaving the Eight of Cups. when it's upright. However, when it's in reverse, this is you sitting there and saying to yourself, no, I'd rather be in this situation. I'd rather just stay here. It seems fine. Everything is okay. But here's the thing about the Hermit. The Hermit is illuminating something to you because the Hermit carries the light of the sun inside of his lantern. It's important to understand that the sign of Virgo and Gemini are both co-ruled with Mercury, right? Or they co-rule Mercury. So they're the closest to the sun. So Virgo has the light of the sun inside of the lantern, or the Hermit does. Now, what's important to understand about the Hermit, along with the Magician, especially since the Magician is coming out above the Hermit, is that the Hermit is actually the master magician. He is a master mason. He has become a master. He can illuminate you to the pitfalls of anything in your life. It can also be represented by like a ghost or, an apparition. However, the Hermit does teach the Magician, and now the Magician is trying to teach you. Or the Magician is putting you on the right path to find this Hermit. So I kind of feel like this Hermit is illuminating something to you that, hey, you do not have emotional fulfillment here. You say everything is fine, but with this Page of Cups in reverse, you're still a page to a situation. You're still wandering around saying everything is fine, but then, trying to get your cup filled up by anyone who will just fill it up, okay? And then having emotional disappointments every time, certain things don't work out within your life. So I kind of feel like you're just in a very stagnant time period. You're like just wandering around in circles saying, the right person's going to show up eventually. Oh, the right job is just going to fall into my lap. And then you get this job or you get this person and it turns out to be, not what you wanted. And you're emotionally unfulfilled once again, but you still choose to stay within the situation, still choose to stay in that one town or that one job or whatever. So the Hermit is going to illuminate why you need to move away from this Eight of Cups energy. So it's important to understand that the Hermit also kind of teaches the Magician. In the traditional deck, the Hermit does carry the wand or a staff, and the Magician also carries a staff or has the staff on the table. So representing that they are both, masters of magic. So let's look at this Eight of Cups energy. Why is it in reverse? You have the Queen of Swords and the Two of Wands. Basically, this is saying to you, you don't want to move unless you get sharp communication. You're basically saying to the universe right here, I'm not going to leave this situation until I know absolutely 100% that I can leave and I will be okay somewhere else. Because you want to move forward with this Two of Wands. You're looking at the globe saying, oh, I want to go to maybe visit Europe, or I want to go to Asia, or I'd like to, live in Canada or wherever. However, you are waiting around for basically permission. You're wanting permission from the universe to move forward. But here's the thing. You have the permission, okay? It's up to you to take the first step. Now, this could be you getting the communication that you need to move forward. Maybe someone will come into your life and say, hey, it's time for you to, go do something else. Now, what is the Hermit here doing? What do we need to know about this Hermit? We have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the Ace of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is represented by Capricorn energy. So I kind of feel like what your main issue is that you are worried about money. Okay? But here's what's important to understand about the Hermit card. The Hermit is illuminating this Queen of Pentacles to you. And this Queen of Pentacles is, a fertile woman, and she can hand you a pentacle that she has. So what I'm seeing right here is that the universe is handing off this Ace of Pentacles to you, and it's up to you to do something with it. So this could be representation of being bound to a contract right here, that you might get a credit card, that you might, get a loan on something. Because the Queen of Pentacles, at the same time, she is still a businesswoman. She is very business savvy. So the Hermit could be illuminating someone who could give you the contract to help you move forward within your life. Especially if you're like, well, I want to move, but I don't have the money to move. Okay, well, here's someone here who could give you the loan to help you move to somewhere else. So I kind of feel like you just need sharp communication to move forward. You're worried about money. It's kind of like the song, There's a Hole in My Bucket. And every time there is a solution to a situation, you're saying, no, but there's, my knife is dull. I can't cut the straw to mend the hole in the bucket. Oh, what if the water's too hot? Oh, what if this, that, and the other? What if the sky falls? So the Hermit is here to kind of, pull you out of that energy for yourself, trying to show you and illuminate to you if you're not happy within this situation, your best bet is to leave. How do you leave? What are the steps in order to do so? Do you need to take out a loan? There are people out there who are willing to do that. Do you need to ask someone for money, like a family member, and pay them back? That's what the situation is it's saying and illuminating to you that where there is a will, there is a way. Now, why is the Page of Cups here? We have the Eight of Wands and the Empress. As I said, you're basically wanting the universe to just fall in your lap. You're hoping that every time you reach out your cup to get it filled up, it's going to be the Empress filling it up, and it's not going to be, okay? This is basically saying that you have to move forward within your life. Sometimes you have to do it alone, and that can be very scary, especially if you just want to go to someplace new. So when I see this Hermit energy, let's clarify this more with this Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. You're hoping that this Empress will come in and fill up your cup, but once again, it's not going to be that. The Empress is always going to be, a fake thing. So let's look at this Ace of Pentacles. The Ten of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. What I'm seeing for you right here with the Ten of Cups and the Four of Pentacles is that you are afraid to let go and be happy, okay? Once again, this is the idea of a hole in my bucket. You're afraid to let go of your friends, your family, wherever you are, to try to start up somewhere else, okay? You're hoping that you're going to find the Empress wherever you are, and I'm here to tell you that that's just not happening for you. Sometimes it takes personal motivation to go forward and do something with your life, all right? You're going to have to make a plan. You're going to have to choose where you want to go. You're going to have to seek out money. You're going to maybe reach out to someone who just has more information and more thought process than you do about certain situations. So you're afraid to let go and be happy. That's ultimately what this is. Now, what else is going on for the collective? You have the Five of Cups, you have the Temperance, and you have the Four of Wands. Here's the thing. When you walk away from this situation within your life right here, you're going to realize something. It was sad to walk away, okay? You're looking at your 3 cups that have spilt over, and it's kind of like crying over spilt milk, right? But you still have 2 cups that are standing up in the background right here. I don't know if you can see this. So 3 cups falling over, 2 cups in the background. If we look at the Temperance card, we can see that the Temperance angel is alchemizing with 2 cups. So it's kind of like the angel is alchemizing behind your back, but it's truly just wanting you to let go of a situation. It's saying, hold on tight. Things are about to change with this Four of Wands. You're about to celebrate. You're about to achieve something new, and it's going to give you a cause to be happy, because the Four of Wands represents celebrating with other people, okay? So I kind of feel like you can't see it now, but at the right moment, the Angel of Temperance will divinely alchemize a situation to come into your life, because the Angel of Temperance has 1 foot on land and 1 foot in water. The Angel of Temperance is also represented by the sign Sagittarius. Sagittarius was Chiron, the centaur, the great healer, the great prophesier, the whatever, right? He's basically a magician. And he could basically tell you anything that you wanted to know. I believe he taught Achilles. So with this Temperance energy, because Sagittarius is a mutable sign, it's kind of like fire, water. So alchemizing with plasma, so coming from the spiritual realm into the physical realm, the physical reality. And that's what the angel wants you to know, is that at the right moment, it will appear to give you some sort of happiness with this Four of Wands. However, you have to understand that the Angel of Temperance does not work on your timeline, okay? Because time works differently during that, or in their realm. You have to think about how many sequence of events need to play out within your life in order for you to attain some sort of victory that you're seeking, okay? You have to think about the other people. Are you going to meet the person at the right time? Or are you going to rush into a situation and never meet that person? Is that person going to, rush into a situation and never meet you? The universe is working right here to try to align you with something, to try to give you this Four of Wands celebration, and all you have to do is just follow the sequence of events. Allow the Hermit to illuminate certain situations to you. And try to see things from a higher perspective, because the temperance is trying to illuminate your third eye or your pineal gland, right? So try to meditate right here. Try to see what you are trying to do. Try to use that third eye energy, kind of like the hermit illuminating you with the sun. So what else do we need to know for the collective? We have the moon energy, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Seven of Swords. What you need to understand right here is that with this moonlight energy, this does represent insanity, okay? So when I see the moon card, it does represent a motherly like figure. I consider the moon Cancerian energy, not Piscean energy. A lot of people associate the moon to Pisces. I don't. So with this moonlight, this is you wanting to stay stuck inside of the darkness, okay? Or maybe you just feel stuck in general, like you cannot move forward. So the hermit is here to illuminate you because he wanders around in the darkness. He wanders around in the moonlight with the lit lantern of the sun. He's going to walk up to you to show you what's going on with this Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. You are trying to stay within this Eight of Cups situation, right? This Eight of Cups situation is kind of like the Seven of Pentacles. You have your roots here. You have settled down, and whatever this situation is, you've just settled for yourself. You're not emotionally happy, you're not vibrant, you're just kind of going with the flow, right? You have other things that you'd be rather working on, like maybe going to college, maybe, traveling the world, whatever it is. And you have to look at the Seven of Swords right here. The Seven of Swords represents a person going into a military camp and then disarming them in the middle of the night. Usually it was a child, right? So during this time period, they would send out child spies, and they'd leave them on the side of the road, and then the military would come by and pick up the child and try to bring them back to, a safe space. However, in the middle of the night, the child would wake up and slit everyone's throat, take their swords, and then run away, and then their army would come and converge on them. So it was a very weird tactic that they had during these time periods. So with this Seven of Swords energy, it's like you're constantly getting sabotaged by someone in your life, all right? Now, I'm not going to say that it can't be your own self-sabotage, okay? So you need to look at yourself in the mirror sometimes. But with this Seven of Swords, this can represent that if there is sabotage around you, or you feel that you are completely getting sabotaged, look deeper at the situation. What does the Hermit want to illuminate? Could it be that you have a toxic family member? Could it be that you have a toxic friend that's around you? Who is the person that's constantly trying to ruin your Seven of Pentacles right here? Who is constantly taking away from you? Who's constantly disarming you? And that's what this Page of Cups could be right here, is that you keep trying to hand out your cup of love to other people, and you're expecting the Empress in return because you have these quick flings with this Eight of Wands, which is like Sagittarian energy. And in return, it leaves you emotionally unfulfilled, and people are just running away with whatever you try to build for yourself. Because at the same time, he is still growing pentacles. So you do have roots, right? But you're still seeing fruits of your labor. Maybe you have a job, maybe you have a house or whatever. Maybe you have a bank account where you are. You just have settled down there, okay? But the problem is that you are just not happy. And I don't see you being happy where you are unless you take a good look at the mirror or actually illuminate what is actually the problem in your life. Could it be the people that you associate yourself with, or is it really just you? Okay? You had the Death card, you had the Knight of Swords, and you have the Six of Cups. You have to end this situation, and you have to end it very quickly, okay? Because the Knight of Swords is saying that this situation is eventually going to come to an end, okay? It's either going to come to an end when you die in the situation, or you choose to leave it. So either you die in misery, or whatever this, settle energy is, or you try to move forward and just end the situation and cut it off. But here's the problem with this Six of Cups right here, is that you have given so much to whatever this is that you just feel sad about cutting it off completely. But I kind of feel like you have to send the swift message to end the situation, because here's the thing about this Six of Cups. It represents Scorpio energy, right? The Six of Cups and the symbolism right here, this is an older brother giving this cup to his sister. Now, the cups represent emotional fulfillment, right? So he is trying to treat her to a happy day. He doesn't want her to understand about the deaths and trials of life. He doesn't want her to understand about the sadness and pain of the world. He wants her to just be happy, run with the butterflies and pretend she's a princess. It's kind of like ignorance is bliss. I think I said that earlier in the reading. So you have to have that quick moment for yourself. Are you really living in ignorance is bliss? Are you truly happy where you are? Or is everything that you are consuming right here, or everything that you just have around you, just a way to get you by into the next day? And if that is the case, then you have double clarification of Scorpio that you need to end the situation. And Geminian energy with this Knight of Swords. So what else is going on for the collective? We have the Hanged Man, the Ten of Swords, and the Star. All right. So the Hanged Man is saying to see things from a different perspective, okay? When we look at the Hanged Man, it kind of looks like, he's being crucified, right? So this is kind of the representation of, I believe it was Saint Valentine. I can't remember who it was. Anyway, it was one of the saints, and they crucified him upside down. And he chose to be crucified upside down. So once again, the upside down cross is not a satanic, thing. It's actually very Christian. He crucified himself upside down because he didn't believe he was worthy to die the way Jesus did, right? And he was hoping to gain enlightenment by doing so. So that's what this Hanged Man energy is to see things from a different perspective, to hang yourself upside down and be enlightened right here. See the world from a different point of view, okay? And what you're going to see right here is the Ten of Swords. You're going to see the climax to a situation that what you are doing is never going to get any better, because the Ten of Swords represents defeat, all right? The Ten of Swords represents this man is dying where he is. The sun is coming up in the distance, representing that he is seeing his final days. It's not going to get better for him where he is. And I don't think that it can, because of the Ten of Swords. So what the Hanged Man wants you to do is to look up at the sky, okay? I think you can see the sky when you're upside down. Yeah. When you're upside down, your eyes point. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to gain the perspective right here. So what I'm seeing for you right here is that you need to look at the stars. The stars represent Aquarian energy. So the Magician coming out with the star. And I talked about the Grand Astrologer, right? You need to look at the star energy and see things past the egotistical point of view. Because the Sunlight is the happiest card in the deck. However, it doesn't always represent happiness. It can also represent, once again, ignorance is bliss. When you look at the sun, everything on that card seems happy. But here's the thing, is that everything on that card represents death itself. Because the child is riding on the white horse in the sun. As you can see, death is also riding on that white horse and marching towards a child. So symbolizing that death comes for everyone regardless. And, it has these sunflowers in the background. The sunflowers are eventually going to die. Same with the sun. The sun is smiling, but once again, it's gas and it will eventually burn out, right? So seeing things from a higher point of view, understanding that the sun is not just the end-all be-all of the universe. There are other stars out there, or other suns, because the sun is a star, right? It's just our closest one. So what I'm seeing for you is what is your actual goal? What are you actually supposed to be doing within your life? Are you supposed to be an astrophysicist? Are you supposed to be a famous musician? What do you feel called to do? Okay? You may have failed at it before, but why did you fail at that situation? Are you truly just settling the situation now? Are you just saying, I'm just going to sit here and not do anything about it? What was the problem the first time? Write it down. Did it get you into debt? Write it down. What were the flaws in anything that you've done previously that did not allow you to reach your stars? Okay? And you need to take that into consideration right here to understand maybe your own birth chart. Like, what does your 10th house dictate for you? How are you going to do it? What are the obstacles in your way? Do you have heavily placed Saturn placements in your birth chart? Because Saturn, once again, is a harsh teacher. Do you have heavily placed, Jupiter placements? That can represent good luck. Are you just someone who's going to win, lose, or sing the blues? That's kind of what you have to determine for yourself, okay? So we have the Lovers, and we have the Six of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups upright. I really like this way that this reading is ending. So this is you calling on an angel or calling on God or the universe, right? You're surrendering to the situation with this hanged man energy. You're surrendering to the divine. You're calling on a higher power. Or you're meditating and you are trying to bring something in. It's basically like releasing the situation to the universe and saying, can you please help me to get out of whatever this is? And all of a sudden, the Lovers is here to divinely connect you with what you were supposed to do next. The Six of Pentacles is giving to you, and that can be representation of this Ace of Pentacles right here. You're now receiving some sort of help from the universe, some sort of monetary help, some sort of emotional help to get you past whatever this is. And then you have the Eight of Cups, you finally walking away. Okay? So that's what this is for you, is that you have to look at what's in your life that is blocking you. Why do you allow it to continue to block you? Are you truly happy? Are you ever going to progress from this blockage? Do you need to cut that blockage out of your life? There is help for you. You have to seek it, though. When you finally do decide, hey, I'm sick of this 100%, it's not going to get any better, looking at the stars and seeing what you were supposed to do within your life, surrendering to the universe right here, and allowing the universe to divinely connect you back to the path that you were supposed to be on. Because a lot of us fall off of our path, all right? A lot of us say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do this completely, or dabble with black magic or whatever, things that can knock you off of your path within your life. And then some people can never get back on their path because it's gone unless they completely surrender. And even sometimes when they completely surrender, they can never have that path again. They were only supposed to have it for that short amount of time. So what I'm seeing for you is that you will get moving once again. If you completely and truly think about this situation, what were the flaws and how you can move forward, the universe comes in with this Lover's energy, and it doesn't always have to be a loving situation. A lot of people say that the Lovers represents, Adam and Eve coming together and they're going to be in love. No, it represents connecting humans to the divine, all right? And connecting them to perfection. So surrendering to angelic help right here. And then moving forward with this Eight of Cups. So let's look at the Spellcasting Oracle. Now, once again, there are many different ways to interpret tarot. I read from a more of the occultist point of view. So I take in a lot of biblical references and a lot of Judeo references, along with Jewish references, along with Islamic references and whatever, and try to work with all of those energies. I don't like to just say, oh, this is that and that's that. I like to see more in depth into them. So what is going on with the Spellcasting Oracle? We have psychic abilities and we have blessings. Once again, opening up your third eye seems to be like, very important right here. Because once again, the Hanged Man has the halo, representing the psychic abilities, this halo energy. The Hermit has obviously the sun in his lantern being illuminated, right? And if we look closely at the Temperance card, he also has the third eye in his forehead. So what you have to really pay attention to is your psychic abilities. And when I talk about psychic abilities, it doesn't have to be like, telekinesis or hydrokinesis or anything like that. When I talk about psychic abilities, I'm talking more about what are your actual talents. What did the universe bless you with? Okay? Do you have a beautiful singing voice? Do you have a ability to do art? Do you have whatever it is? And sometimes people don't even find what they're actually good at within their lives because they've never tried it. Sometimes people, were made to play sports throughout their life and they never picked up an instrument. However, their birth chart might say you're going to be a famous musician one day, but they'll never pick up that instrument to become a famous musician. With this blessings, it's saying, what are your actual blessings? What are things that you have been blocked off to your entire life? And that's what that Seven of Swords could be, is that you don't even know what your talents are with this Seven of Pentacles. Like maybe you dabble with certain things, but you've never had the ability to improve on them, okay? There's always been something else that you've had to do. This could be that, maybe you're really good at mechanics, but you've never had the opportunity to go to that school. But on the, on your spare time, you occasionally dabble in that. Maybe you could make a professional career out of it. So with this blessings energy right here, you need to pay attention to what you're actually good at, what the universe has blessed you with, and try to find it. So, for example, some people, they go through 10, 15 instruments before they finally find the one that clicks with them, okay? Like, I know people who've tried guitar, tried violin, tried the cello, tried the harpsichord, organ, whatever, and then they finally settle with the flute or whatever. So there's something about this right here that you just haven't found your proper blessing. You haven't found your proper talent, okay? So let me get you a couple of cards from the Awakened Oracle deck. We have Equanimity, and we have Shine On. Finding your proper path right here. If you can look at this right here, it's symbolic. So if we look at the mountain in the background of the Temperance, we can see the same mountain in this Equanimity right here. Water flowing down the mountain, the water of life flowing down from this magical realm, this higher place. Trying to reach this equanimity, trying to reach this peak within your life. Finding what your proper path is and going on. And then with this Shine On, it's saying once you have been enlightened with this, once you have been truly, this is my passion, this is my path right here, shine on and continue to show it. Here's the thing. A lot of people try to hold on to their talents because they're saying, oh, I'm not so good. Like, they're 30 years old taking their first art class. But here's the thing. People want to see you improve. People want to see how you started because that's inspiration. Okay? A lot of times we look at the grand scheme of things. Sorry, hold on. I'm getting choked up. The great grand scheme of things, right? But we don't understand how it started. Like, we look at the pyramids, like, how did they do it? One brick at a time. They started with, planning. They started with math. They started with all these different things, and then one brick at a time. So that's what this situation is allow people to help you with this magician energy and this hermit energy, people who are, maybe masters of a certain situation. Allow them to see you start and then help mold you along the way, okay? Do not be afraid to take constructive criticism. A lot of people hate constructive criticism. A lot of people view criticism as just criticism. They're like, oh, it didn't help me in any way. They lost their confidence. But here's the thing. Stick with it, all right? My piano teacher used to throw things at me. Like, for real. So, this lamp, remembrance. And let me get you one more. Invisibility, authenticity. With this lamp energy and this remembrance energy, this is saying look back at your past, okay? What were your true passions? Maybe it's something from your past. Maybe that's what the Hermit is illuminating to you right here, is that it's something that made you happy a very, very, very long time ago that you might not even remember. And then all of a sudden you find that passion. It's like unlocks a certain memory from maybe when you were like 7 or 8 years old. You're like, oh my God, I do want to be an astronaut. Like, that's the situation right there. Now, with this invisibility authenticity, what you need to understand is that being invisible allows you to be your authentic self, okay? Now, when you are your authentic self and no one can see you, it's easy to stay in that mode, all right? It becomes very comfortable. However, sometimes you have to step out of that comfort energy. You have to move forward with your life, all right? It's okay to be invisible every now and then, but you have to step out of your shell. You have to allow people to see you. You have to allow people to see your progress. You have to allow people to see your talents and whatever. Here's the thing. You're always going to have a hater. You're always going to have someone who wants to cancel. You're always going to have people who talk shit and don't fucking like you, all right? However, on the other hand, you're always going to have people who are always there for you. You cannot please everyone. People even, like I've been reading tarot cards since I was 13 years old, all right? I have studied and studied and studied different types of literature like the Bible, the Quran. I've studied all types of things, and people are saying, I don't like the way that you interpret. Like, okay, that's perfectly fine. Can't please everyone, all right? So let's look at this Witch's Familiar energy. And that's not bragging, that's just, from the authentic point of view, you can't make everyone happy, all right? You can play an instrument for 20 years and you're always going to have one person saying, you know, I don't like the way that you played that. It would sound better if it was this way. But you can't allow your confidence to be shaken, all right? So let's look at this witch's familiar energy. So we have vulnerability, allow yourself to be vulnerable, and malice. All right, that's the problem right there. When you are vulnerable, it opens you up to malice. So once again, you like to cloak yourself and not allow yourself to be authentic, all right? But here's the problem. Not everyone is going to be malicious to you in your life, all right? You're always going to have that stable balance of haters and people who care about you, unless you're doing something stupid, all right? So, and I'm talking about, you know, like people who are actually trolling people online. So with this malice and vulnerability energy, it's okay to show off to the people who care about you. Sometimes you don't have to post it on Facebook. Like, say you make a painting. You can just show it off to the people who come to your house, okay? You're still being authentic, but you're not just displaying it to everyone. And maybe that's something that's okay, to be structured and that to ease yourself into potentially fame, okay? For example, when I first started my channel, oh my gosh, when I started getting followers, it started to scare me, okay? Like, I really wanted to shut down my channel when I got 50 followers or subscribers, because it started to make me freak out. And then when I got like 200 subscribers, I took a couple of breaks, right? And even nowadays, it still gets to me, like, the more people subscribe, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to shut down everything. I don't want people looking at me. I don't want people knowing who I am, blah, blah, blah. But once again, allow yourself to be seen. You're always going to have someone who hates you. So, Perthos, secret. Earthly meaning is chance, gambling, secrets, windfall, synchronicity, and birth. The spiritual meaning is the fate, the feminine, and uncertainty. Now let me get you a talisman card. You have Sowilu. Carry this card for strength, success in all ventures, good health, and speedy recoveries. You have to have a lot of strength to get past the malice, okay? Sometimes people are offering you constructive criticism, and that's okay. And then some people are giving you just criticism because they hate you. That's not okay. Remove yourself from those situations. And I do see success in all ventures, so, you know, try different things. You might not be the greatest of everything, and that's the problem, is people are always try to capitalize off of something. For example, they don't do things for enjoyment. They're always like, I have to be the best, I have to be the best. No, allow yourself to just be happy, okay? Being happy is a success in its own, all right? That does lead to good health because you're not stressed about the situation. Speedy recovery is right here. So with this chance, gambling, and secrets, I do see that secret being illuminated to you. I'd be careful when it comes to chance and gambling, okay? There are synchronicities, so if you're going to take a chance right here, I would try to synchronize it with the universe. So, for example, if you see 11:11, okay, that might be a good time to take a gamble on something. Or 12:12. But don't just, you know, do it whenever. Now, with this spiritual meaning, fate, the feminine, and uncertainty, this could represent the Empress over here. Because, once again, the Empress is represented by Libra and Taurus. So, Taurus being the feminine and Libra being the masculine. Sorry, hold on. I'll get through this reading eventually. So it kind of represents the war in the sky, because Libra is supposed to be, you know, this very stern judge, and then Taurus is supposed to be, you know, this very sensual being. So trying to bring balance and harmony in that situation. So it can also be represented by, because Venus is also called Lucifer, or the morning star. So in the Bible, Lucifer is represented as the morning star, but Jesus is also called the morning star. So that, like, polarity of Venus right there, and Venus is the morning star itself. So that balance that you have to have that feminine along with that masculine energy to balance out this situation within your life. So don't allow yourself to be polarized just because you're too scared to move forward. Don't allow yourself to just be hidden because of malice. Share your secrets, share your identity to the people who actually care about you. If they don't care about you, then they're not worth your time. But I do see that you cannot be your authentic self, and you cannot be happy where you are. You're just going to eventually be miserable and die in whatever that situation is. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will talk to you later.